This week's Parsha is Parsha by Leichter, or as I like to call it, the Parsha of Yosef. And the Parsha starts off at the beginning with a plain statement. Gavri yachlu v'lo otom v'yishnu mikol achav avihem ahav kioto achav mayiru. And when his brothers saw that their father loved him more than any of his brothers, they hated him so that he could not speak a friendly word to him. And what came from this hatred? Exclusion. Yosef was seen by his brothers as not one of them, and he was ostracized from all their gatherings. Now, the only place he had to go for refuge was his father's house, a place where he was safe and comfortable. Now imagine only having one place to go where you feel comfortable, and that was with your father. Just imagine. The only place you feel comfortable is like at your bed at home. And later in the Parsha, his brothers would push him down the pit and then sell him. So imagine how worthless Yosef felt in that moment. Imagine the loneliness Yosef felt at that time and throughout his childhood. So while we have never been in as an intense situation as Yosef was put into, we've all felt lonely sometimes throughout our lives. We all experience some sort of exclusion in some way, whether socially or in your family. You know, parents, they have a tendency to pick the favorites. They don't want to say it, but they do. Nobody wants to feel alone, but oftentimes we find ourselves in that situation. But the question is, how do we ensure that no one else around us feels alone? How do we create a more inclusive environment around us? Now let's look back at Yosef. Now, he's currently in prison, and after being accused of lying with his master Potiphar's wife. Accompanying him in the jail cell were two men, the cupbearer and the baker of Paro. They both had interesting dreams, which had deeper meanings that they could not understand. Yosef could see their distressed look, as the pasuk says, "Re'im pneichem ma'adu le'mor Adonai beit bishmar ito asher Paro et esrisi vayish'am." He asked Paro's quarters, who were with him in custody of his master's house, saying, "Why do you appear downcast today?" So after all this isolation Joseph has felt, and all that he's been through, this whole story, he could have kept to himself. He could have stayed in his corner. But instead, he goes out of his way to approach the distressed individuals and comfort them. He showed that he cared, and it really helped these men on their journey. Why can't we be like Yosef in this situation? Why can't we show we care? We can. Step one is easy. We can do this in yeshiva. If you see somebody who's having a hard time, you can see it on their face. Trust me, you can see it on their face. Go up to them and ask them if they're upset. Ask them if they're okay. If you see that they're upset. If they give you an angry or snarky response, fine. They gave you their response, but you did your part to make sure that they can have a better day. But trust me, you can really make somebody's day, year, month, or even life by showing that you care. Showing you care also means attempting to be as inclusive as you possibly can. Yes, I understand we all have our friend groups, we all have our cliques. That's just kind of how life works. And I'll sit together and go out, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But make sure to realize that maybe sometimes feel lonely. They have anxiety about where they will sit at lunch, where they will sit on the bus, where they will go the next minute, who their chavrutas will be, where to turn to, and they have no clue where to go. If you ever sit next to you on the bus one day to a trip, and you see that somebody doesn't, invite them over to sit with you. If you have an area next to the table, even if you don't have room, and you see that people are walking around, squish and make room at your table. If you go in the morning and just say good morning to everybody,
good morning,
like Jonah just did, it can make their morning, their day, their life. We're so lucky to have so many amazing people around us this year. Let's all try to be like Yosef in that jail and continue to show that we care. Thank you.